Why is Nitish Kumar filing nomination papers for Rajya Sabha?
This is the million-dollar question. After, 3.5 months after leading a campaign where he was the face, where the result was seen as an endorsement for Nitish Kumar's continuation, for him to move out. The reason he's cited sounds hilarious, where he's saying, I've always wanted to be I've been a member of the Bihar Legislative Assembly and the Bihar Legislative Council. And so I've always wanted to also be a member of both houses of parliament. That's no reason for a chief minister to step down and move to the upper house of parliament, which is basically, a retirement house. In a way, at this age, definitely for Mr. Nitish Kumar. Fingers would be pointed at the BJP, which has for long tried to take control, take the reins of power in its hands. So whether we see a BJP chief minister finally taking over in Bihar and the contours of power sharing changing, that we'll have to wait and see. As I said, there's a whole month for government formation that Nitish has at his disposal. Whether he still has some surprises to pull, we don't know. But yes, it is not a decision that seems to be his decision. It's something that he can say that, or as people are now, there's a whisper campaign of sorts, his hardcore loyalists are saying it's a conspiracy against him. Others who are taking a more charitable view are saying, keeping in mind his deteriorating health, it's best that he moves out right now instead of, cutting a sorry figure for himself at a later stage, because he's become very prone to making gaffes in public. So as chief minister, that becomes all the more apparent. So there's that too. But certainly, this also shows how long-term the BJP plans for, in a way, where it gobbles up its allies eventually. And we've seen that happen in state after state. We're seeing that in a different way panning out in Maharashtra. We saw that happening in Haryana with the INLD, the JDU now here in Bihar, perhaps the JDS in Karnataka, perhaps the AIADMK at a later stage in Tamil Nadu, who knows? Anyone else thinking of allying with the BJP and wanting to also remain in politics for a long term may want to take this as a learning curve.